Judge Eric Morrow, and we'll be presiding over court this afternoon. Let's see who we have with us. Position 1, Brittany Amy.
I just got a message from her. She's on the water train.
On hold.
We do have an agreement on that one. It's going to be transferred to DOI. Once we admit we're being referred to DOI court, and she's up there, it'll be transferred to the DOI court judge.
Okay. So she's awaiting acceptance from the
So she's
DOI.
on.
Okay. Position number 2, Troy Bird.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I came in on the tail end of Mr. Corn talking about Mr. Amy.
Mr. Corn advised that she is on the train headed this way, and also that she's making application for DUI court.
Okay, yes,
Okay,
it's gonna be referred to the DUI court. Yes, that's correct.
okay.
Thank you.
Yes, and Mr. Bird?
Yes, Mr. Burke is here. This is a negotiated plea. We have the paperwork should be turned.
I have it, so I'll take that. I'll take that first when we get to it. Position 3, Carita Ramirez.
Good afternoon, Judge. That is my case. My client is here, and we got the paperwork submitted to the state, and we're ready to enter a plea at the court's convenience, Judge.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Position 4, Kalia Hill.
This is my case. I expected her here today. I'm not sure what she is. We talked yesterday. In any case, I believe she was wanting to set up a trial. So.
Okay. Position 5, Raymond Jacques. Yes, Mr. Jacques. Have you spoken to Mr. Rosenblum? Okay.
Have a conflicting case. His partner, Michael Barber, has COVID.
Okay.
So he said that he was trying to contact the court to let you know so he could continue it.
Okay. I'm happy to continue it. I received his conflict. We'll continue it till November 2nd. It'll be also on a final plea calendar at 1:30.
He and I, when we consult, we'll decide on how we're gonna go forward. So we should have something worked out right then.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. I'll see you back in November, Mr. Jacques. I'm glad you're well. Position 6, Larisha Shaw.
Your Honor, that is marked as being the Thomas case.
Could Mr. Corn come up to the mic? I can barely hear him.
Can you just turn your mic on there? Is it on?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
You wish you couldn't. Ms. Shaw is represented by our office, but it's listed as Bianca Thomas, who's not in Orca. I'm not sure whose case it is now. Nor do I.
Your Honor, the case that's on the calendar ending in 4404, I have Miss Catrice Helen is handling that. I also reached out to the litigation managers because there's 2 additional cases that Ms. Shaw has that we thought were going to be transferred. Look like they were transferred over to Orca. They just were not placed on today's calendar.
Okay. So, Mr. Corn, I'm going to take Ms. Ramirez's plea. Would you see if you can get in touch with Ms. Helen for me?
Yeah.
She just entered the zone here. Oh, yeah, she's here. Ms. Helen.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Afternoon, Ms. Helen. We're on position number 6. Ms. Shaw. Oh, she's in the court.
Ms. Shaw is present in court, Judge. I believe she's position number 6, but I have also spoken with the state. Ms. Shaw has additional cases that need to be added to this calendar or the next additional calendar so that they can all be heard together. I don't believe the state, and correct me if I'm wrong, has a global resolution for all of them.
I sent it.
Okay.
I sent it the other day to you.
Understood, Judge, and I've made my entry into those other cases, but I want to review all of the video and discovery evidence with Ms. Shaw.
Okay, do you want to put it on another final plea calendar, Ms. Helen?
A status, Judge, if
Okay.
possible, Your Honor.
All right, I don't know how it got on this final plea calendar to begin with. Given that they're going to be consolidated, I'll put it on the status calendar for December 7th.
Understood, Judge.
Okay, that's going to be at 9 a.m. Do you have do you need anything further from Ms. Shaw? Ms. Helen?
I don't, Judge. We were just reviewing some evidence in the hallway, and so we would just be waiting for the rest of the discovery for those other cases to be filed.
Okay, all right, Ms. Shaw, you're free to go. I'll see you back in December.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
All right. You're welcome, Ms. Helen. Let's see, let me go ahead and take Ms. Ramirez. Take that plea first. Okay, good afternoon again, Ms. Ramirez. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes,
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes,
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Githia?
Yes, Your Honor. For the DUI less safe, the state's offer is 12 months to serve 24 hours. I'm sorry. We noted like maybe less than half an hour ago that she also served an additional day. There was some type of mix up with her address and she had a failure to appear. So she's going to get credit for 48 hours.
Okay. Would you like me to make that
Yes, if you could, please.
on the paperwork?
Yes, please. Thank
That's
you.
fine with us, Judge, and we overlooked that she had been stopped in the bench warrant.
Okay,
Balance probated, a $300 fine, 50 hours of community service, alcohol drug evaluation and any required treatment, risk reduction program, 1 victim impact panel. The failure to maintain lane and the DUI per se will merge.
okay. Yes, Mr. Naveen.
I'm sorry, Judge?
Your turn.
Oh, Judge, yes, that's correct. I'm so sorry. The end of what Ms. Gauthier said got cut off. Judge,
And I'm sorry, let me just add this other thing. I do apologize. Do you stipulate to the facts, venue, and ID?
we do.
Yes.
Judge, this case has been going on for a little bit. I've spoken to my client. We just asked to accept the pleas negotiated. There's one small issue that I brought to to the state's attention just before court. I think it's a really fair offer. I hate pushing back when I think we've got something that's real reasonable. Because of pretty high BAC, the state had offered the 50 hours of community service. I'd entirely forgotten that my client actually done quite a bit of time. She did an additional, I actually believe it was closer to 3 days, 2 days on the bench warrant, plus the time that she spent when she was originally arrested. We'd asked that the court would consider letting that offset the additional 10 hours. So it's the minimum 40. She's a mom. She has grown up a lot since this happened. I guess that's a good thing and a bad thing with COVID, Judge. She's very much not the same person that was arrested on that day. So we'd ask that the court at least take that into consideration. But at this point in time, Judge, beggars can't be choosers. I think we got a real fair deal. And just beyond that, once she finishes terms, we just ask that she goes non-reporting.
So you're asking for 40 hours instead of 50?
That's correct, Judge. And at the end of the day, it's 10 hours. I feel almost bad asking Ms. Gauthier to reconsider that or asking the court to. But given her family situation, what she's done, how long she spent in jail, I think that's a small concession. Notwithstanding the fact it's a pretty fair offer, very fair offer to begin with, which we are appreciative of.
Any objection, Ms. Githia?
Well, Your Honor, taking into consideration the BAC was pretty high, and I will acknowledge that this is her only DUI. I do still have to consider that the BAC was almost triple the amount. And as far as that additional day that she did do in jail, it appears that she was booked and released on the same day. So it might have just been a matter of a couple of hours. And again, because that BAC was so high that we are going to ask for that 50 hours.
And if I can just clarify, Judge, real quick, I realize that's what it shows on the Fulton County Jail website. That's actually not correct. I think she was transferred from another jurisdiction. I had filed in my consent motion. Mr. Patrick was on this case before. I told him about the issue. She'd already done the change of address. We submitted all of that. Mr. Patrick, he agreed to do the consent motion to set aside bond. That was actually submitted prior to her being, if you look at the dates, that was done prior to her being booked into Fulton County Jail, or I believe on the same day. So she was transported, I believe, from Roswell to, it was some other jail that she transported to. But if you look at the timeline of when we did our motion versus when she was actually arrested in Fulton County Jail, it doesn't make sense that it was just, a few hours.
Okay, I'm amenable to changing it to 40 hours of community service as opposed to 50. Anything further?
No, Judge, we'd ask to go non-reporting when she completes terms. I don't think you're going to see her again.
Suspension.
Right, and is she going to surrender her license, or has she already done that?
She was already surrendered previously. She doesn't have a judge, but we're happy to do any paperwork that's necessary. And we'd also be asking for the affidavit of first conviction.
Okay, and I do have that here. Okay, anything further before I take the plea?
I have a question about the logistics of getting the affidavit, Judge, but I'll take that up at the appropriate time.
Okay, I already have it here, so I'll sign it and I'll have Ms. Smith get it to you.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Nothing further. Sorry, I know we've been going on for a second.
Okay, you're fine.
Her information correct for probation, so that I can pull it on the database versus sending her the paper to fill out.
Did you hear that question?
I couldn't hear it, Judge. I'm sorry.
Is where would the information be?
I just wanted to make sure that the demographic information that's in Odyssey is up to date, so that I can use that information to go ahead and send over to probation.
I don't know. I can look that up right now. She's Hispanic female. How tall are you, Stephanie?
I'm like 5'2", 5'3".
5'2", 5'3". I'm not sure what other demographic information you need.
Such as her address, phone
Uh,
number, and email. If she could put the email in the chat, I see that that's not there, but I just wanted to verify the address and phone number.
Sure. Can you send me send that via chat, Stephanie, or if you are comfortable just saying it over the Zoom, just say it over the Zoom.
My phone number is 678-857-1500.
And then confirm your address, and I'm actually going to send your email address, since that's a little more complicated, directly to Ms. Smith.
Okay, the mailing address is 3294 Lansbury Village Drive, Atlanta, Georgia 30341.
And ma'am, I'm Ms. Smith. I just sent you her email address.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Ramirez, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 0073331F, you wish to plead guilty to DUI less safe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I will accept the plea. The sentence is with a DUI less safe, 12 months to serve, 48 hours credit for time served, 24 hours balance probated, a $300 fine, 40 hours of community service, ADET, risk reduction, one victim impact. I will have the probation go to non-reporting after you complete the terms. And I have already signed the DDS form. And council, we will be getting you information regarding probation. If you can have that filled out, it'll tell her where she needs to report to probation. And I'll ask that she do that within the next 2 weeks or so.
Sure, of course, Judge. We'll look for that in our email and we'll make sure that she reports, Judge.
Okay, anything
Judge,
further? Yes.
I do have one question, Judge. My client, she's actually not even in the state right now. She goes back and forth out of state. Is she able to report remotely? I know for quite the longest time, it didn't even need to be put in the sentence. They were having everyone report remotely anyway. I'm not sure what's happening now.
Right, it's fine with me if she reports by phone.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, Judge. Judge, that's all I've got then in that case.
All right, well, you all have a good rest of your day. You have everything you need, Ms. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, yes. Good
All right,
luck
I
to you.
appreciate
See you
All
next
right,
time.
you all too, Judge. Yeah, and I appreciate the court being flexible. I had a little last minute emergency at the beginning of July, so we had to roll it over today. So I appreciate the court's
You're fine.
consideration.
You're fine. Have a good rest of your day. All right.
You all too. Take care, Judge. Bye.
Thank you. Let's see, are we ready with Mr. Byrd?
Yes.
Okay.
Smart comment to the podium. Right?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Byrd.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the Orca final plea calendar. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Gippier.
Yes, Your Honor. For the DUI less safe, the state's offer is 12 months to serve 24 hours, credit for time served 24 hours, the balance probated, a $300 fine, 50 hours of community service, alcohol drug evaluation and any required treatment, risk reduction program, and 1 victim impact panel. The remaining charges will merge. I'm sorry, Your Honor, and also a restitution, the amount to be determined, and the remaining charges will merge.
What is the restitution for?
We are waiting for Ms. Hayes. She was one of the passengers in Mr. Byrd's vehicle. She was to submit, his insurance did not cover all of her medical expenses, and we were waiting to hear back from her regarding the expenses that was not covered.
When did you last speak with her?
We spoke with her, I think it was June or July, and then we tried to reach out to her again today, I believe.
Okay, I'm not gonna have Mr. Byrd plead to an amount of money that's uncertain. So I'm not gonna have him pay restitution through this court, but of course you can sue him civilly or proceed civilly if necessary. But without a restitution amount today, I'm not gonna require him to pay restitution.
Thank you.
All right, anything further, Ms. Gippier?
I'm just checking on one thing, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, that's all.
Okay.
And that is my understanding of the negotiation, Your Honor.
Mr. Byrd, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 007218F, you wish to plead guilty to driving under the influence less safe. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this afternoon?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Byrd. When you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay? So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you don't have to report to probation, and the sooner you don't have to pay those fees, okay?
Okay.
And I will, and has he already surrendered his license?
He has it with you, Judge. He will do so now.
Okay,
And Judge, I noticed that the community service hours were 50 hours. The required maximum is 40 hours. For the same reason as the previous individual, it's his first lifetime DUI. He has not got any kind of record otherwise. We would ask that it be the statutory minimum 40 hours of community service.
Ms. Githia?
No objection.
Okay. I'll change that to 40 hours.
And we would also ask for a certificate of first conviction.
Okay, I'm signing that right now.
They finish the
And
rest
do you
of
want,
it.
Ms. Smith, you want
Very
council to
much.
fill this in?
And drive to work, and that's about it. Okay. I'll give you the exact instruction.
We give you the DD paperwork as well to fill out.
Yeah, I know, there's always a lot. How's your handwriting? Pretty good.
Okay, here we go.
Sure, it's better than mine, I know that. We can all be certain, we're gonna have you have a seat here and that's to fill this out as soon as we're done.
Did Miss Amy show up?
She is here.
Okay, so
And Ms. Hill showed up as well, so we're 3 for 3.
on position number 1, I guess we should just to make sure it gets accepted by DUI court,
Right.
reschedule it for
That's our negotiation. So if we could reschedule this so it doesn't fall through the cracks,
Right.
I think that makes sense. I'm gonna have her fill out the application, the referral form right now. As soon as I'm done with these other things.
okay. So I'm gonna reset her case to December 7th status, okay?
Write that down. Bound for good.
And did Miss Hill want a jury trial?
Yes, she does, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're gonna further notice Ms. Hill's case to the next I guess we're not gonna really have a jury trial until the first of the year at this point, because the calendar's already gone out. No.
Prepare for the December. trial calendar.
Okay, for me?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
So you'll get notice.
Roger that.
Okay. And
No, it's
is Miss Hill free to go? Do you need to talk to her?
No, we've talked and she knows, contact me next week so we can look at this video.
All right, have a good day, ma'am.
My apologies, Your Honor. November isn't full, so she can go in November.
Okay,
It's your October and November.
right. And we're not just gonna do traffic cases in?
My team, that's right.
Yeah,
First of
okay,
the
okay. You testing my brain.
Calendars.
It's late in the week, things can go wildly awry.
Right. Okay, I think that takes care of everything. Do we need to go over the calendar, Ms. Githia?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
We're gonna get the paper.
All right.
Got it all.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You do the same. We'll see you.
Oh, wait, Ms. Kathia, before you go,
Uh-huh.
you still here?
Yes.
On yesterday's status calendar, and I missed this, there was a Nicholas Cooper on the calendar. I had in my notes that he was scheduled for September 12th, and that's what I told him. I found out yesterday or this afternoon when he emailed me, that he was actually on for yesterday, the 6th. And that's definitely my fault because I didn't submit an entry of appearance on it. So I didn't get the notice that he was on the calendar and I missed it.
Okay, I don't think that was he here?
He was not, that's the problem. He lives in Florida.
All right, so that would have been Miss Redding's case. I don't mind giving that. I don't think I've signed any bench. I don't know if I have or not signed bench.
You
warrant.
haven't, Judge, not as of yet. This is Miss Redden.
Okay, thank you, Miss Redden. All
You're
right.
welcome.
So I'll just put him on we'll put him on another calendar.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Judge.
I
I will file my entry when I file my others.
Okay, all right.
Would you like him on another status, Judge, or show calls?
Put him on a put him on the show cause calendar.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully we'll work something out.
Okay.
And just for clarification, I
She
had
need my
Miss
attention.
Helen was gonna represent him. It's gonna be you, Mr. Corn?
I'm sorry, who did you have?
Miss Helen?
I
I'm
have
not
Miss
sure.
Helen as well.
Well, I'll talk to Catrice about that. I'm honestly not sure. I have a file, so that's why I thought it was me. And I have his contact information. He's been contacting me.
Okay,
But either way, I'll talk to Ms. Helen. We'll figure it out who it's gonna be.
okay.
She's got enough on her plate.
Okay, if there's nothing further, I believe that takes care of the 1:30 calendar. You all have a good rest of your day.